Yeah, and I think he will in Game Five because he exhibited some success because he was forced to go small after Mahaney was in trouble. Hibbert picked up, I think, his fifth foul, and then he just threw Scola in there and David West and I think Copeland was in there for a minute, and they made a little bit of a run. But let's be real, like. Um, I don't even know how they will be able to sustain that over the course of a whole game. And I granted he only needs to do it in spurts just to at least match up to hold off to withstand whatever run Miami has. But I guess what I'm saying is that it worked in the fourth quarter, although Miami did pull their foot off the gas pedal. But it
Right.
seemed to work, and I think you'll see more of it from Vogel. And I think if he wants to at least give himself a shot to win, he has to at least try a smaller lineup just to give it a shot. But because Miami, man, they had him put games and they don't want to give Indiana any type of confidence at all into thinking they have a shot at winning this series because you lose game five, Indiana may think they can win game six. They're gonna come out, they're gonna play hungry and desperate again. You gotta match that intensity. What if you have a bad game? Anything can happen or injury. So they don't want to chance it. I think they're gonna be focused, they're gonna come out, they're gonna put them away. But I don't know, man. We'll see, man. Again, it's in Indiana, and I'll give them a slight shot, but they haven't played well at home in the playoffs at all. So even that's a shot in the dark.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. The phone number to call in area code 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. This is the Dead End Sports Show. I'm your host, 12 Kyle, joined by my partners in crime, B, Ken, and FIFO. Hit us up, 646-478-0356. Next question I had for you guys as far as the Western Conference Finals. They're playing right now, and at last check, it looks like at the end of the first quarter, OKC is up 26-20 over San Antonio. Obviously, the big news was, Serge Ibaka coming back. He was ruled to be out of the series, out of the playoffs, and miraculously he's back for Game 3. And OKC looked like a totally different team in Game 1 and 2 as opposed to Game 3 that they won. And Ibaka was huge, starting the game and everything. So the question I have for you guys, and I'll start with you first, B, why has Ibaka helped OKC climb back into this series?
I mean, simple. He's making players, the San Antonio players, rethink their shot when they get in the paint. I mean, it's crazy how much of a difference that someone that's a great defensive low post shot blocker can make. Because if you notice in Game 1 and 2, Parker, Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard, it was all going up in there just laying the ball up easy. But if you notice, a lot, Tony Parker, he was rethinking a lot of his shots because I know he got his layup like beat out of bounds a couple times by Ibaka. Then the other few times, every time Tony Parker kept going to the hole, you can see that look in his eyes. He was just looking at him like, holy shit, should I try to take this shot, this floater, or should I pass it or whatever? And then next thing you know, Tony Parker turnover. So he dictated a lot of, with them guys penetrating to the hole, and they made them rethink their shot. When you have a good shot blocker like that and someone that can protect the basket, it's going to make you rethink what you're doing when you're going, make you rethink when you're shooting that shot. Oh, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Oh, if you see Ibaka in the corner of your eye, you're going to think pass first and then go and get aggressive and shoot the ball like they was in Game 1 and 2. And then, I mean, honestly, I think, even though I still think, I was still saying it too. After OKC won, I said to Ken, I was like, I still got Spurs in 5, though. I think they really won that game off of emotion. Ibaka had that Willis Reed type of moment. You coming out, you You thought he was injured. You thought he was gone. The crowd go crazy. They run off emotion. Kevin Durant and Westbrook go out and play good. Ibaka, I think he shot pretty good. He had like 4 blocks, like 16 points. So I don't know if he's going to repeat that process. I still think San Antonio might get it together and probably pull off and win these last 2 games, which would be this game and then they finish out at home. But we'll see. That's why they play the games. I still got Spurs winning this series though.
Okay. What about you, Ken? Why do you think Ibaka has helped OKC climb back into this series?
Defense, is much like what B said. Those shots at the rim, they go away. You can't run in there, and Barkley said it after game 3. Ibaka goes after everything,
Mm-hmm.
and he's successful with it at a high rate, and that intimidates players from going into the paint. Because and offensively he can rebound and he can shoot the mid-range shot, so he's worked on his game as well. But more importantly, he claws up the paint and he takes away easy shots, and he forces San Antonio to spend a lot more time on the perimeter hoisting up 3-point shots. So yeah, and you know what? He's part of the big three. So without him as part of their offense, as part of what they do, it affects them, uh, you know, in a different way than having them off the court. Those points, man, and just his presence of being able to hit it, makes a difference. And his talent compared to Collison and compared to a rookie in Adams is far superior. So, him hurt is way better than, a 100% healthy Collison or a Steve Adams, and no disrespect to those guys, but the facts are the facts. So, he's a shot in the arm. I wouldn't, I understand the Willis Reed thing, and that was a different situation, but I think more than anything, they needed him out there, and just to be a part of the fight, because at the end of the day, when the results of Game 3 were over with, and they were down 0-3, it wouldn't have even mattered,
Right.
if the series would have prolonged past this round. And so now get out there, play. You lose, you go down 0-3. This series is more than likely over. You get a chance to rest in the offseason. And even if they lose the series, you still get a chance to rest in the offseason and heal up. So yeah, man, I think it's just him just being out there for his teammates, and it paid dividends.
Definitely. What about you, FIFO? Why do you think Ibaka has helped them, get back into this series, at least through one game and a quarter or so? Definitely, definitely. I think everybody touched on it, very eloquently. I think, his presence there, if for nothing else, just on the defensive end. Well, first of all, there was the emotional lift because, they said that he wasn't going to be back, and then he was back all of a sudden. And for them to have him back was a shot in the arm emotionally for them. And then he also helps on the offensive end as well as the defensive end. I can't remember how many block shots he had, but I know that, the ability to step out and hit that 15 to 18-foot jumper, for them because it opened up so many things for Russell Westbrook to, create in the lane as well as Durant to hit his open 3-point shots. So Ibaka, his presence was there. And I mean, keep in mind, games 1 and 2, San Antonio lived in the paint. So I think, if for nothing else, like B was saying, Parker had to change some of those shots. That teardrop floater wasn't necessarily what he wanted to throw up when Ibaka was in the middle. So, I think it bodes well for OKC. As far as I know, everything from what we've heard, I mean, obviously he's starting again tonight. They're saying that he's going to be fine, throughout the rest of the playoffs. So I don't know if it was a misdiagnosis, which leads me to the next question. And I'll start with you first, FIFO. Do you think Ibaka was that seriously injured? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because, I mean, we hear about it all the time in the NFL. Give you, for example, the Patriots. The Patriots are notorious for injuries. I mean, I remember one year Tom Brady was on the injury report every week for a bad shoulder. I mean, and there was not. I don't know that there's necessarily anything wrong with his shoulder, but in the NFL, you have to disclose your injuries. Was it gamesmanship on OKC's part? Was it a built-in excuse? I mean, FIFA, I'll ask you again, do you think Ibaka was that seriously injured? Because he went from not playing the rest of the series to, like he's back. You know what I'm saying? So what's your take on that? Definitely, definitely, definitely. What about you, Ken? What's your take on it? Was he hurt? Were they playing possum? What's the situation here?
Man, I honestly have no idea. This is like one of the weirdest stories um, I've heard, man, because here you have a guy who was out the rest of the playoffs, and after 2 games, he's back. Like that's kind of extreme. So, what's your motive for putting that message out when you knew you were going to need him in the playoffs? And did you really think you were going to get past San Antonio without him? And maybe hope to have him in the finals. So it was really really awkward that over a span of 3 days he made this miraculous comeback health wise to get out here and not only play. From what I've seen, he barely limped. He jumped. He blocked 4 shots. His jumper looked on point.
Okay.
He grabbed rebounds. And he played 30 minutes. So this is the weirdest story I have heard so far in the playoffs because it makes absolutely no sense on why Presti would put that out there and why Brooks would continue to support it. Even though, I mean, like B said, hey, look, I'm just going to go with my guy. I'm going to ride out. And if that's what they're saying, then that's what I'm going to say. So I get that. But yeah, man, I got to give props to Skip Bayless, man, because he called it since this happened. He said that come game 3, Ibaka will play before this series is over with, and he didn't back off. And I'll be damned if Ibaka did run his ass out there and start playing in game 3, and they ended up winning. So maybe they needed more time for him to heal. I do think he was hurt the first 2 games, because if he wasn't hurt, he would have been out there playing hobbled. So I think there was an injury. I think he just had a lot of time to get well. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think they were fake it. I think that there was a lot of hyperbole in what they were saying, putting out there to the media.
Okay. What about you, B? What's your take on it, man? Was Ibaka really, really hurt, or was he just faking the funk?
Man, I think what happened was after looking at game 1 and 2, the damn OKC organization, they panicked. They were like, "Oh shit! Look at all these shots they getting in the paint." Hell no! Hey, shoot his ass up with something. And they probably shot that damn. They probably shot that damn Cav up and gave his ass some type of, I don't know, some type of adrenaline or something, and his ass went out there and played his ass off that game in game 3. I just think I don't know. I don't know if it was really that serious. I don't know if they probably thought it was more serious than it was, and come to find out, oh, we can just stretch it out, do whatever. I guess the doctors figured, or the trainers were like, oh, we can just do this, do that, and maybe we can have you at 80% or 85% or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the heck they was thinking when they said he was out for the playoffs. I thought he was out for the rest of the playoffs because I thought they knew what they was talking about. But I just really think they saw game 1 and 2 and how San Antonio just pretty much ass raped them without KY jelly, and they was like, oh no, we gotta have Ibaka back in. If you gotta shoot him up with something to do whatever, shoot him up with whatever you gotta shoot him up with. We need Ibaka back out there. So, and there you have it. He's back out there. He played. He lifted the team up, and they won game 3. And I guess the doctor's like, hey, shoot his ass up back again, because if you notice, at the end of game 3, towards the end of game 3, he started limping a lot. He was really limping a lot. So whatever they shot him up with, it must have wore down towards the end of the game, because he came out that first half, he was like on 20 or whatever. It looked like he wasn't even injured at all. But then by the time like the end of the third quarter came, he was like, okay, he's starting to limp a little bit in that run. So whatever they shot him with is wearing out. So
okay,
I noticed that. So I thought they just panicked and was like, look, we need to have him out here. He's our, like Ralph said, he's our Kevin Durant on the defensive end. He's our most valuable player on the defensive end. So I think it was just basically just panic. And look, shoot him up with something. We need him out here. So that's what I think.
You know what? That's the answer I was waiting on, because that's my answer. I think they had to have.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, man. You know it all day long, man. Great minds think alike. I think for them to, because I don't think that you misdiagnose somebody that bad. I mean, to go from, and of course, like FIFO said, we're not there. We're not in the training room, so I'm not accusing them of doing anything illegal, because if you want to take a cortisone shot, you can take a cortisone shot. That being said, I think he had to have had something, obviously something legal put into him to help him get through this. And some guys will tell you, I mean, hey, if Novocaine is going to get them through, or some type of painkiller, shoot them up and let them go, and they'll kind of deal with the consequences and the repercussions afterwards. But I've never seen anybody get that type of diagnosis where they're between games. This wasn't a situation in a game where he goes down and they say, okay, well, hey, because you remember he got hurt toward the end of the game. So for them to go from the point of, that last game against the Clippers, him getting hurt, and the start of the series and saying, okay, well, hey, he just can't go. And then to get to that point, we're like, wait a minute, something had to have happened. So, and that works for OKC. I think as I mentioned earlier, if they can win tonight, you're probably looking at a 7-game series, or at least we know it's going 6, as opposed to just a couple of days ago, it looked like they didn't have a chance in hell at winning this game. The phone number to call in, area code 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. You are locked in live to Dead End Sports. I'm your host, 12 Kyle, once again, and this is Dead End Sports, joined by the boys. You know them from Dead End Hip Hop, Ken, B, and FIFO. Hit us up, 646-478-0356. Now, I want to jump into something real quick, man. I was watching a telecast. I think it was game 2. And Mark Jackson, bless his heart, Mark Jackson, former coach of the Golden State Warriors, he used to be a NBA analyst turned head coach, back to NBA analyst. Now he's back with ABC ESPN. During I think it was game 2, Jackson said, and I quote, "Dwayne Wade is the third best shooting guard in NBA history." You know, Jeff Van Gundy kind of looked at him like, "Are you serious?" And Mark Jackson was dead ass serious. So it got us to thinking, you know, we don't really know if he was being a prisoner of the moment or what have you, but the third best shooting guard in the history of the NBA, behind obviously Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe Bean Bryant. So Ken, I'm gonna ask you, man, do you agree or disagree?
Look at Ken. Ken.
He's just sitting there. Answer the phone, man.
Oh man. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. You were just sitting there just looking at the computer.
All right. Let me preface my comments by saying that I am a huge Dwayne Wade fan. So when he said what he said, I was like, you know what, he right. I was like, man, you know what? There's an argument to be made on whether or not he could be the third best shooting guard in NBA history. So you know what? I'm gonna ride with Mark Jackson on this one, man. You know what? I think you take what he did by himself in 2006. I'll always hold that, you know, high among his accomplishments and on his resume. You know, he 3-time NBA champion, won by himself. Of course, he had Shaq and all the other guys.
Right.
You know, outside of the lack of three-point shooting, which he just don't take a lot. You know, he got the jumper. He was athletic. You know, he could score. Like the man was a one-man wrecking crew. You know, in the NBA for years, man. He was a superstar for years, and other than the injuries that he's sustained over the last few years, because of the recklessness that he's played with throughout his career. I think if he was able to stay relatively healthy and continue to put up those elite numbers, I think a lot of people want to look at Mark Jackson like he was crazy. But I think what's happening is that we remember the Wade from last year. We remember what has happened this year, and we're kind of holding that against him. So yeah, man. You know what? I'm riding out with Mark Jackson, man. Again, I'll say it again, man. I'm a big time Dwayne Wade fan. That's why I was happy when LeBron and Bosh came to play in Miami. It had nothing to do with LeBron James, even though I like LeBron James as well. This was more about Wade because I've liked the guy since I've seen him play in Marquette. He caught my eye, and you know what? I was like, you know what? That guy is the truth, and I like his resume. So yeah, man, that's my answer.
Okay, well, there it is. You heard him. What about you, FIFO, man? Wade, third best guard in the history of the NBA.
You know, when Mark said that, and when I thought
I
about it,
can't hear
honestly,
people.
you can't hear me? Oh, my
I
bad.
heard FIFO, you still there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I can
can't
hear
even hear
you.
him.
My
He's
bad.
not in my ear. Okay, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go.
My bad. I forgot I had y'all on mute. But when Mark Jackson said it, and I thought about it, I'm like, man, this motherfucker is crazy. But you know, like me and my brother, we talked about it, and realistically, when you look at the history, D Wade
Yep.
is the third best. When you look at the history, like you know, people might say Rick Barry, you know, you know, somebody I could put up there is Reggie. Reggie was the only competition I had for him, but he doesn't have a championship. And another two guard that I feel like he's vastly underrated. I'm glad he made the Hall of Fame is Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond is vastly underrated.
Yeah. Yeah, me and
But
people talked about that. We talked about that the other.
yeah, yeah,
We was
Very
playing
much
NBA
so.
2K. Yeah.
yeah. Mitch Richmond used to give MJ work. Like people forget about that. Like he was no MJ, but shit, he would score 25 on MJ, and then realistically, the only other guy is Clyde Drexler. But you know, those are the two guards in contention, but none of them outside of Clyde have a championship. You know, individually, I think Clyde was maybe the most athletic out the three. I think Reggie was the best out the three, mainly because watching him play against MJ all of those years, like he never backed down, and he was one of the very few players to really get under MJ's skin, where MJ
Right.
choked this guy in the middle of a game, you know. So Reggie is that guy, but yo, like real talk, D Wade has 3 chips. He won one without the big three, and I think once you think about it and you digest it and you sleep with it, you probably agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean,
FIFO's giving him a number 2 call as well. All
Number
right,
three.
B.
Number three. Third best.
What
Jordan,
says
Kobe.
you, B?
you said what, Kyle?
I said, where are you going with this? Where Mark
Yeah.
Jackson says third best shooting guard in the NBA history.
Yeah. I mean, I at first I was kind of. I mean, I wasn't like, oh, he tripping, but I had to like sit and think about this, and I thought about like for the past 30 years. You know, the best like shooting guards. You know, I was if people took mine, I was thinking Clyde Drexler because that was another one that gave Jordan some good competition back in the 80s and early 90s. Yeah, Reggie Miller, another person too. I think we not really mentioning, but you know, and look at his longevity. Look what he's done. Ray Allen. Wow, Ray Allen's not thrown into that conversation. I mean, he's arguably the best shooter we've seen in the NBA. So why not put him up there as one of the best shooting guards? And you know, and for him to still play at a high level at his age, I think that's pretty impressive. I think that's, you know, he won 2 championships. So I would say why not throw Ray Allen up there? Iverson, I consider Iverson the 2 guard. I mean, he's just a 2 guard and a point guard body, but you know, I think only Iverson's only knock is really him not winning the championship. Really, I mean, if Iverson would have led that 2001 team to a championship, I would have probably had him as number 3 all time, just off of that alone. With that weak team he took to the finals, and if they would have beat the LA Lakers, oh yeah, he would have been number 3 all time. But you know, sitting back looking at this, you could probably think of Jerry West. I know I had arguments with my dad. My dad used to always say if they had a 3-point line back when Jerry West was playing, his points total would have been way more than what it is now. Because my dad used to say Jerry West used to come in the gym shooting. I mean, come in the gym and kill everybody. So yeah, I mean, D-Wade, I look back and think of all the 2 guards. I mean, you know, John Starks, no. You know, like I said, Reggie Miller's a good one, but no. Allen Houston, no. You know, Clyde Drexler, maybe. He could be like maybe that 4th or 5th guy, but yeah, you think, and like what Dwayne Wade did in 2006, man, it was Jordan-ness what he did in 2006. So, yeah, I gotta say, yeah, I agree. After I sit back and look at it and look at all the shooting guards for the past 30 years, or at least all the shooting guards that I've seen in my lifetime, yeah, I say D Wade is the 3rd best shooting guard of all time after Kobe and Kobe and MJ. But you know, let's not forget Ray Allen though. I had to throw Ray Allen out there because I mean, what he's been doing since '96 to now is still crazy, and him still shooting at a great consistent level, and his game has never really been off of athleticism. It's just he's still been conditioning real good at his age. I mean, it's remarkable. So just alone, I had to throw Ray Allen in there.
Well, as usual, no matter, it seems like this happens from week to week. Is usually Ken, who will go against the grain. Since my brother Ken is not going to be the oddball, I will be the oddball. Love Dwayne Wade. Love his game. Love what he's about. I like him. I like. I'm not a Heat fan, but I like what. And much like Ken, I'd never heard of Dwayne Wade until his last year, probably the last 5 or 6 games of his college career. And I remember watching him in the tournament at Marquette. He was balling. And I never forget he got a triple-double, which is something you really don't see in college basketball. He got a triple-double in the tournament. That being said, he's not the third best shooting guard in the NBA history. The third best shooting guard is a guy that B just named, and I'm going to go with Allen Iverson. Now, Iverson does not have the hardware that Wade has, through no fault of his own. I mean, the man played with, Eric Snow and Dikembe Mutombo and Aaron McKee and all of these guys, and he took some bums to the finals. I mean, some bums. That being said, I gotta give it to Bubba Chuck, man. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is probably the third best shooting guard in NBA history, pound for pound, the best little big man to ever play the game. The book is still out on Dwayne, and so I'll say all of that by and bookending with this. The book is still out on Dwayne Wade. Obviously, Wade could, propel this team to another championship or help propel this team to another championship, which would be his 4th. And like B said, when you start talking rings, I think the thing that you have to keep in mind is that he did it without the big 3. He did it. When he did it, he was the guy. The first championship he won, he was the guy. So I think that makes a difference as well. But the book is still out. But right now, if I had to put it on it, I would say I would give Iverson a slight edge over Wade. But if Wade, wins another ring or two, and he finishes at a certain tier as far as his points are concerned, and so forth and so on, we revisit this question a year or 2 years from now, I may say Dwayne Wade. But right now, I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm going to be the oddball. I'm going to be Ken for tonight. I am going with Allen Iverson.
Damn.
All right.
Before anybody want to debate that before we jump to the next question?
No, that's a good one. I mean, that's. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't think that's a good one. Mainly because AI doesn't have the hardware, and D Wade was able to pretty much do what AI did in his early career as well, and he won a chip with an old ass Shaq. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you, because trust me, a lot of my game came from AI. AI was my guy, but I don't think that he was better than D Wade. Not as an overall 2 guard. Obviously, it is not AI's fault, but he's small. He wasn't a better rebounder than D Wade. Not a better one-on-one defender. Obviously steals, because AI played the passing lane. But one-on-one defender.
The hell out of the passing lane.
Yeah. Not a better one-on-one defender than D Wade. I could give him better scoring, more steals, but just as an overall player, I even think D Wade was a better overall playmaker. And I could argue how poor the roster was that D Wade took to the finals. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think that one chip that D Wade got with that squad, I think that's what puts him over AI. And I think he's an overall better basketball player. I think AI was more dynamic. I think AI changed the game more than D Wade did. I think AI was a bigger star than D Wade, even at his ultimate prime. But D Wade's just a better basketball player, in my opinion.
Okay, I can respect that. Like I said, I'm gonna be Ken tonight. I'm Ken tonight. The phone number to call in is area code 646 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. You are locked in live to the best show on the internet right now. You're locked into the place where sports opinions collide, Dead End Sports. I am your host, Kyle, joined by my partners. You know him from Dead End Hip Hop, Ken B and FIFO. Man, we're taking you live up until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. on the West Coast. So hit us up, 646-478-0356. And we're also in the Google Hangout, too. We posted the link on the website as well. Excuse me, on Twitter. If you're in the chat room, we posted in the chat room as well. So if you want to see us live, do our thing, that's what we're doing. We're working out the kinks, so bear with us. But we're also streaming live on the Google Hangout as well. Next question, man. We talk top 5, top 10 a lot around here, you know, and it could be in any form or fashion. It could be from hip hop to football to certain positions or what have you. But it got me to thinking. Let's do a top 10, man. Give me your top 10 players in the NBA right now at any position. Okay, top 10 at any position right now. You know what? Since I'm throwing it out there in case somebody don't have theirs together, I'm going to give you mine, and I'll start first. Let me grab my little paper here. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
I'll start first with number 10. Number 10, I'm going with Dwight Howard.
Shit.
I think he could be better, but you know, that's where I'm going with Dwight Howard. I know Ken don't like that. Number 9. I know. Hey, and you know what's funny? I could see his face on the screen just like scrunch up. You know, he just gave me the gas face on the screen. That's one of them.
All right.
Number 9, the beard himself, James Harden. Number 8, Blake Griffin.
Too low.
Number 7, and he's fallen a little bit on this list because I had him higher a little bit earlier in the year, and in fact he was mentioned in my MVP talk, and he's made me look like a fool right about now. Number 7 is Paul George.
Oh my God.
Number 6, Stephen Curry. Number 5, got to take it to the Twin Cities, Kevin Love. Number 4, Carmelo Anthony. Number 3, not Cliff Paul, but his brother Chris. Number 2, the man who shares my initials, Kevin Durant, KD. And number 1, LeBron Tremont James. So there you have it. My top 10 right now, any position. Now, I'll throw a little caveat in here. Obviously, I did not include Derrick Rose and Kobe Bean Bryant. That's because they're injured. We're talking right now. When those two become healthy, I'm pretty sure they'll be in the top 10. But just to reiterate, number 10, Howard, Harden, Blake Griffin, Paul George, Stephen Curry, Kevin Love, Carmelo at 4, CP3 at 3, Kevin Durant, and number 1, LeBron James. Ken, I see you writing something down.
Yeah, I didn't put them in order. So I
okay. You need a little time?
Yeah. Just a few more minutes. You can go to somebody else.
Go ahead. This is what I need you to do for me. I need you to explain 10 and 9. I agree with 8 to 1. Not necessarily in all of their orders, but I'm cool with those players. But James Harden plays no defense, 0, and he shrinks up in the biggest moments. And Dwight Howard is too much of a crybaby and offense. Look, I put it to you like this. If you could combine James Harden offensively and Dwight Howard defensively and make one player, I give you that. But separate, I can't put them on the top 10, man. You have to explain that.
Okay,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. And anybody that knows me or follows me on Twitter or anything know that I'm very critical of and have been very critical of Dwight Howard, not just his time in Houston, his time in LA, his time at as I see B over there doing jumping jacks, his time at in LA as well as Orlando. I try to remove the emotion. Now, FIFO, to be honest, I don't disagree with you on a personality standpoint as far as what both of those guys do or don't do at all. Here's the thing: I try to remove the emotional aspect, but pure player, yeah. Harden doesn't play any defense, but I mean we've seen him light it up. Now, do I think Harden would be doing the same thing had he stayed in OKC? I mean, it remains to be seen. All I know is that that playoff he disappeared in the finals, and it ultimately could have cost Kevin Durant a ring. As far as Howard, when motivated, when pushed, he is in the game, but he motivated? When is he pushed? I know that he was motivated and pushed in LA because Kobe Bryant pushed him, but ultimately Dwight Howard doesn't want to be pushed. He wants to go at his own pace. He wants to do certain things. So I guess what I'm saying is I agree with you totally as far as your breakdown of their personalities and their idiosyncrasies, but I try to remove the emotions out of it and just go strictly off of who I deemed my top 10.
I feel you, and I didn't put no emotion into it. I'm looking at it straight from attributes, from what you add to the team and how much better can you make it. Now, James Harden, I can feel you to a certain degree because James Harden last year to the Rockets just by himself made him a top 5 Western Conference team. Like you know what I'm saying? Like for a big part of the season they were up there. Then they fell down, and I think last year before Dwight they finished 6th or 7th or something like that because they played OKC in the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
No, they played them in the first round. So they were either 7th or 8th. Now Dwight, I don't know. I feel you. I'm not gonna break it down, Kyle.
No, wait a minute, man. Dwight, hold on, man. Dwight Howard. The only reason I'm giving you a hard time is because Kyle, I think, was stuck in Orlando. You said that Kobe motivated Dwight Howard last year. I didn't see it. They struggled the whole year with Dwight Howard on the team.
Up on LA.
Yeah, he stayed hurt. He didn't care about play. He was whining and bitching and moaning, and then he gets to Houston, and while it's not a lot of whining, bitching, and moaning, where was he at in the playoffs? Nah, man, I can't give you Dwight Howard, man. Ever since he pulled his LeBron and decided he wanted to leave Orlando because he wasn't getting enough help, he's been average at best, and he's just, I think Dwight Howard's living off his reputation. He's not to me, he's not a top 10 player. Not anymore.
Okay, well, do you have your top 10, Ken?
I'll go ahead, B.
Why you gonna put it on me and you up here talking all that junk? You might as well go ahead and put your top 10 in there, man.
Hey, he's over there writing up a debate for me, but he hasn't finished his top 10. You got yours?
Man, I'm always ready. And I can defend every single thing.
Got to be on point. Let's see what you got.
All right, so number 10, I have Kevin Love. And the only reason why he's that low is because he hasn't made the playoffs. But when you look at his numbers, everything he adds, like he averaged 26 points, 10-plus rebounds, and almost 5 assists. That is crazy for a power forward.
And led the league in double-doubles.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So he's number 10. Number 9 is Paul George. Mainly because he's a great two-way player. I think that this was his first year ascending, scratching the level of superstardom, and I think that playing at that level throughout the year, that's hard. I think he'll do it next year because he scratched the surface this year, and that's the only reason why I have him so low. If we would have did this mid-year, he probably would have been top 4, top 5. But because he struggled down the stretch, I had to put him at number 9. Number 8 is somebody that definitely jumped up, and I wouldn't have put him there maybe even earlier in the season, maybe just because I don't like him that much. I don't love him, and I definitely think Kevin Love is better than him. But I have to put LaMarcus Aldridge because of the way he carried Portland, through a lot. And
I can
realistically,
see that.
yeah, as much as I like Damian Lillard, LaMarcus at this point in his career, he's a better player than Damian. Damian still has some time. Number 7, I have Carmelo Anthony, mainly because he didn't make the playoffs. If not, I think he's a top 4 or 5 player in the league. Number 6, I agree 100% with Kyle. Is Steph Curry. Like this guy, barely 6 foot anything, can't bench press probably 120 pounds, is not quicker than John Wall, D Rose, Russell Westbrook, but man, you cannot guard this boy right here, man. That's a bad boy. Number 5, I have CP3. When it comes to floor generals, in the history of the NBA, I think he's top 5 there too. Not just in today's NBA, but if we're gonna just look at point guards, I think he's a top 5 point guard all time. Number 4, I know a lot of people. I love this guy. I love this guy. I always say, if I was an NBA head coach, this is the guy I want on my team. This is who I want, and that's Russell Westbrook. I think
Okay.
averaging 26, 8, and 8 in the playoffs, that's astounding. I think there's only like a couple. Nobody's ever averaged that throughout the playoffs. Those are LeBron-like numbers. Of course.
Damn.
Of course he takes bad shots. Of course, he's going to get you the turnovers and stuff like that. But the intangibles, the athleticism, the things that you cannot coach, I think he has more of that than almost any other player in the NBA. So Russell Westbrook's number 4 for me. Number 3 is Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, look.
Whoa, Blake's pretty high.
Yeah, no, look, from the beginning of the year, anybody that knows me, anybody I've been talking sports to, since I seen Blake Griffin in preseason, I said he's ready. He was ready to make that jump, and he just proved it. He proved it this year. You can't name me another power forward that has his combination of athleticism, vision, handles, shooting ability now, and he's just scratching the surface on that. He's going to be better next year. And just look at the increase in free throw percentage. I think he's plus 5 or 7% in free throw percentage. Look at his jump shot. It's consistent now. Maybe not as consistent as it needs to be, but it's consistent enough that you have to play me out there. His decision making has gotten better. And think about it. His team finished in the top 3 in the West without their quote unquote best player. Some might argue CP is the best player, and CP was out, and Blake Griffin carried that load and then some. So he's, to me, I think in the top 3, and everybody knows everybody's top 2 should be the same, LeBron, KD. So I'm not even going to go into them.
Right.
But LeBron's on a whole nother stratosphere. KD's on his own planet, and I think Blake is starting to get to his own planet as well, because I don't think that there's another player that embodies all of the attributes he does, man. He's really like a powered forward version of LeBron to me. Like he doesn't have the same amount of handles, but he has handles. He doesn't have the same vision, but he got vision. He doesn't have the same range, but he's shooting more consistently now. And realistically, they shoot the same at the free throw line. Rebounding, Blake is up there. Blake is a better rebounder than LeBron. So Blake is definitely up there. KD, the MVP. Love you, KD. But yeah, man, LeBron is that guy, man.
Okay. And you know what, man? I gotta give you props because, and I put it in the chat room, I don't know how the hell I left Russell Westbrook off my list. I must have been like half asleep. So I probably let's put let's put Russell Westbrook on my list, and let's scratch Dwight Howard off.
Ken's
All
happy.
right, I'm gonna throw it to you, B, man. Give me your top 10, man. Any position.
Man, I had to. I was just naming 10 players. I didn't really have them like ranked like you guys.
Okay.
But I guess like number 10, I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis at number 10. I think he had. Yeah, I think for him being 21 years old and leading the NBA in blocks, I love defense though. So
Right.
him being 21 years old, leading the league with I think almost 3 blocks per game, and in his sophomore season, I think is remarkable. And his offense is getting better. That's another guy. People talk about Blake Griffin, dude, got handles. I think we're slowly starting to see this offensive game that Calipari was so praised upon when he had recruited him. So, and he's getting better. He's starting to pick up more meat. Getting hit in the weight room. He shoot. I think for him to be a big fella, he shot like 80% from the free throw line, which is like good for a power forward. So that means that's room for improvement. So number 10, I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis. Number 9, I'm gonna go with I know people like this dude. I had to put him up there just because how much he's improving from year to year. And Damian Lillard, I got him at number 9.
Okay.
I like it. I like his game. I've been praising him since he was in college. I've been telling folks like, yo man, Damian Lillard. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. I was like, man, Damian Lillard, he's gonna make that transition to the NBA real good, and he's proven me right. I'm looking like a smart man right now, Damian Lillard. So I got to put him at number 9. Number 8, I'm gonna go with. Whoa, what the hell was that noise? Number 8, I'm gonna go with number 8. I'm gonna go with Paul George. Yeah, I just think people keep saying, "Oh yeah, he's a superstar. He's a superstar right now." I'm like, no, not yet. He's not there yet. He has the tangibles. He has everything to be that next big superstar. Besides LeBron and KD and stuff, but he's not there yet, though. He's getting there. He's still got this playoffs that we're looking at right now is like he's getting his heart torn out. It's like, dude, if you're a superstar, don't let them tear your heart out. David West shouldn't be the only guy in there balling. You should be trying to carry your team and win, and I'm not seeing that in Paul George right now. I haven't saw that ever since after the All-Star break of this season. It seemed like he's just been declining this year. So I don't know about that one. That's my number 8. That's my number 8 guy. Number 7, I got Russell Westbrook. Hell of a damn athlete. One of the best athletic point guards, whatever a hybrid guard you can name him as. Westbrook, he's a beast, man. My only gripe about Westbrook, his IQ, man. He just take dumb shots all the time.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of careless, unnecessary mistakes. Like, big time. I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. So, that's why I got him at number 7. At number 6, I got Stephen Curry. One of the pretty much the best shooters right now, up and coming. I mean, no shots at Ray Allen. Ray Allen, you the guy. But Stephen Curry, man, that dude, the way he shoots it so effortless, like it's nothing, man. I'm like, man, I wish I can like just make it look so effortlessly when I shoot my J's, man. He does it with so much poise and a lot of people. I always tell people, man, don't sleep on his passing ability. Dude, Stephen Curry can always pass. I think people were so used to seeing him score 50 points at Davidson, they forget that he got handles and he's a good passer. He got good court vision, and I'm glad people are starting to notice him for that too as well. So Stephen Curry, number 6. Number 5, I got Kevin Love. I mean, I think you said it. I think I would have probably had Kevin Love higher if he was to show what he's worth in the playoffs. I mean,
Right.
The man put off the first 30 points and 30 rebounds since Moses Malone. That gotta go for something. I mean, that's crazy.
Exactly.
Rebound is all about desire, man. And for him to be so non-athletic and to still be outworking the power forwards like LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin and stuff like that, and still get more rebounds and all that stuff than him, that's crazy, man. So Kevin Love at number 5. Who am I forgetting? Number 4. Golly, I'm forgetting somebody. Shit. But number 4, I guess I'll go with LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge, he remind me of Rasheed Wallace. And I think Rasheed Wallace could have been like the best power forward probably ever, skill set wise, if he'd have had the work ethic. I don't think Rasheed Wallace had like the really true work ethic to put in time and to get his game right and ball out. So, I got to put LaMarcus Aldridge in there because he reminds me so much of Rasheed Wallace. He's not really super athletic, but he got all the great tangibles for a good power forward. He plays great defense, good post game. He got a good little 8 to like 12 foot around the basket. He's deadly around there. Good offensive rebounder as well. I think people don't appreciate him for the good offensive rebounder that he is, and he's a good free throw shooter. And he has his sweet spots, just like Tim Duncan, he has his sweet spots around the basket that he has to go to, and he got go-to moves. So LaMarcus Aldridge is number 4. Number 3, CP3. Best to me, in my eyes, he's been the best point guard in the league for the last 5 years. I mean, he to me, he's the epitome of what a point guard is. So someone that's a floor general. He's the second coach on the floor, and a lot of point guards in this league I don't see doing that. Probably with the exception of Tony Parker and Rondo when he was healthy. But the CP3 is that floor general, man. He can do it all. He can pretty much do it all. He's a good jump shot. He's a good free throw shooter. He's a good on-ball defender. Because you saw what he done with Kevin Durant, a 6'10", 6'11" Kevin Durant locked him up those few times in the game. CP3 plays some defense, so CP3, I got to put him at number 3. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was almost my number 1 because just based off this season alone, Kevin Durant was just those games against LeBron that he just made LeBron could not guard him. I was like, huh?
Only one, the one in Miami, because in OKC, LeBron gave him the business.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying he almost. I ain't say he was number 1. I'm just saying he almost. Just the way Kevin Durant's game, he just looks so unguardable, man. Like for him to be that tall, and his handle's gotten better. He's gotten a little bit quicker now, lateral movement quickness, and Durant, he's becoming more and more of a monster every time. He keeps saying he tired of being the second best, and this season. He's trying to prove that. So, to Durant number 2, and of course LeBron, freak of nature, number 1. He's on a mission again. He's trying to get that three-peat, first team to three-peat since the LA Lakers, 2002 Lakers, and LeBron James is just playing at a whole nother level. He proved us last year when everybody was saying, oh, he don't got no jump shot, he can't win with no jump shot. He proved it in Game 7 against San Antonio last year. He hit clutch jump shots when needed. And for all the naysayers that say, oh, LeBron James, he can't hit clutch jump shots, he don't got no jump shot, he shut up all the naysayers last year with that against a good defensive San Antonio team that was daring him to shoot jump shots, and he beat them by shooting jump shots. So it looked like they might three-peat this year. So LeBron James, hands down, number 1 guy.
B. There's only one thing that I slightly disagree with you on. And the reason why I had to say slightly is because this player was on my list too, and I had to take him off for this only reason. Anthony Davis is too young. He makes the top 10 list next year. I think, with the 3.5 blocks, you see the handling, you seen the shooting, like this guy was a point guard.
He's making a huge leap.
He made a huge leap from year 1 to year 2. I knew year 1 he was too small. Like the game he got hurt was against San Antonio against Tim Duncan. I remember watching that and just looking at him. I'm like, he has everything you want out of a big man. He's just not physically ready. This year he was more physically ready. And he's not as big as he's gonna get. He's not where he's gonna be. But I just think that it's next year that he makes that top 10 list to me.
I tell you this though, he's making as young as he is, he's making better leaps at this young age than Blake Griffin did when he first came in the league.
But Blake Griffin, when he was first drafted, I forgot the year he was first. Remember he was hurt.
He got hurt. He got hurt. I'm just saying. Right. All right.
Wait, hold on.
When he played, what? Go ahead.
Oh,
I was about to say the next year he played, which was considered his rookie year, and going on to the year after that, I think Anthony Davis made a better improvement from his rookie year last year to now, as far as offensively and defensively. I
give you that, but Blake had a better rookie year. I give Anthony Davis having a better second year, but Blake averaged 22 and 11 his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? And then I think something happened his second year, and then after that second year, he got hurt again. Remember, in the summer of the Olympics, he got hurt.
Yeah,
so realistically, in his first 3 years, he only had one NBA offseason where he could really improve on his game. And realistically, that's the same thing Anthony Davis had right now. One real offseason to improve on his game. So I give you that. I think Anthony Davis is top 15, top 20 right now. But I think next year he's hands down top 10. Hands down.
Another person that you like. Go ahead. You put it to me like what?
I was gonna say, I think that if Drew Holiday can stay healthy and they tweak that roster just a little bit, they make the playoffs next year.
Oh yeah. And another one, I gotta say an honorable mention. I mean, of course, honorable mention is Blake Griffin too, because I didn't have him in my top 10. Another honorable mention. This is another guy. I think he just got to get his head right. Is DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins can easily be in
Yes.
I think DeMarcus Cousins can easily be in all of our top 10s if he just get his mind right, man.
You know who DeMarcus is? You know
What?
who DeMarcus is? DeMarcus is Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah,
That's what he is.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yep,
That's what I said.
exactly.
That's what he is, man. It's like Rasheed Wallace.
I don't think he'll get it.
I don't think he will either. I don't know. I think he is
he'll
what he is. He is who he is. DeMarcus Cousins, he is who he is. But
Because he would have made those jumps already. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like, he
right,
would have made some
right.
jumps, and you don't see that. He's pretty much had the same game. It's not like,
Game,
you know what,
yeah.
let me become a better passer. Let me do
Right,
this
right.
better. You're the same exact player that you came in year one.
he could easily be everybody's top 10. Easily. But go ahead, Kim. My bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ken. We're gonna
like-
jump into you, man. Give us your top 10 in.
You know what? I like DeMarcus Cousins a lot. I think outside of his mental lapse that he has throughout the season, I think his game is there. I think the numbers are there to support it. I think he's a byproduct of Sacramento, and I think that's why he's often overlooked. But I think he's right there, and I think if they make the playoffs, we'll be talking about him next year. He's just not making his teammates better, and because that Sacramento team, they were loaded, and you know, if he could have helped make his teammates better in some form or fashion, he'll be right there, man. But he's definitely on the outside looking in for me.
But DeMarcus isn't even better than Anthony Davis right now.
I gotta watch.
If he can get his head right.
See, what are we talking about though? I mean, are we looking at numbers or just like the overall game? Because they kind of have different
Overall
games.
game, just pound for pound, better or worse.
Davis is better. Better
think
ball
Davis
handler,
does
better
have-
passer.
Davis is better. Davis is better.
He's better. Year 2. DeMarcus is what, year 4? 5?
Yep. The same year as John Wall. Whatever John Wall is in.
People.
I think that's year 4.
But anyway, I don't know, man. I think because Davis grew into what he is now, and he started out as a point guard, like you pointed out, I think it helped him develop that overall game that DeMarcus Cousins don't have because he's more of a pounder. He's more of a guy that's going to play in the post than Anthony Davis will, and he has a bigger physique. So, but numbers-wise, I think they'll be complementary to each other. But anyway, time for my list. And you know what? Number 10 for me is Dwayne Wade. A healthy Dwayne Wade is a top 10 player in the league, hands down, no contest.
This year, though,
Got
Ken?
somebody.
Huh?
This year, Ken? This year, D-Wade, did he even play over 60
Let him
games?
finish before we destroy him.
Let him finish. Let him finish, Ralph. Let him finish.
Man, look at what he's doing. Look, statistically, he had his best year shooting the ball. We've seen what he would have been able to do with a full season outside of missing 28 games in the playoffs. So yeah, man, Dwayne Wade. Number 9, Damian Lillard.
Okay.
That he proved a lot to me this year. Getting Portland off to a hot start. Hitting a lot of clutch shots. Putting up numbers. Scoring, assists. Like, he was really a leader on that team. And this is his second year. The guy was simply outstanding. Now I think he got caught up in the moment in the second round against San Antonio.
Yeah.
And he got exposed. But I still like him a lot. And I think that shot he hit against Houston to put them away cemented him as a top player for me in the NBA. Number 8, you got to go with Stephen Curry. For me, I'll put him there as a number 8 player. I mean, the guy, clutch, Like B said, he can assist, he can rebound, he can score with the best of them. I mean, the guy can do it all. He can even get steals for crying out loud. So I'll go with Stephen Curry for my number 8. Number 7 is Chris Paul, man. I don't think there needs to be anything else said that hasn't been said right now from me that you guys haven't already said. So I'll leave that there. Number 6, man, I'm not going to penalize Kevin Love for not making the playoffs. FIFO. The guy put up numbers. He just hasn't had a lot of talent around him. But the numbers that he put up, the gaudy numbers that he put on an absolutely horrendous Minnesota team, deserves a lot of respect. And I think it's hard to find many players that can put up the numbers like he has in Minnesota in the league right now. Number 5, Blake Griffin. I wanted to put Blake Griffin higher, but he made a tremendous leap this year with this game, improving the jump shot. I think his free throw percentage went up. He continued to do what he does best: rebound, score in the post. I think his handles got a lot better. So his overall game has improved from year to year. So he's really impressed me with just how he's improved as an overall player this year. I wanted to put him higher, but I'm going to give these guys that's in my top 4. You already know who's 1 and 2, so I'm not gonna even go there. But number 4, man, is Carmelo Anthony, man. I know I give Melo a hard time.
That's who I forgot.
But
God damn it.
The man, if he had better talent around him, I think we will be looking at him as an NBA championship contender, man.
Damn it.
The score with the
I
best.
forgot him. I can't believe I forgot Melo.
He can score on the perimeter, in the post. He's physical enough to play defense with LeBron. He can go toe-to-toe with LeBron scoring. He don't quite make his teammates better, but we've seen it in spurts where he can win games. He put up 62 or 61 in the Garden. Like, Melo is the truth. He did it in Denver. He did it in New York. This is his first time not making the playoffs in the last 9 years or so since he's been in the league. The man is the truth. He just fell victim to the team. As much crap as I give him, I got to go with Westbrook as the number 3. Just off sheer talent and athleticism that he possesses. He's improved his three-point shot. He rebounds. He assists. He makes steals. He has the intangibles. The man is he's one of the most polarizing players in the NBA because you look at him and you be like, man, you can be so great if you just had this together. But outside of that, based on what he's able to do, I got to give him the 3rd spot, man. And of course, KD naturally will go with 2nd place. I couldn't put him first, even in spite of the year he's had, because Westbrook coming back has slightly affected him a little bit as far as the numbers. He's had a shaky postseason. He's had some shaky games, and LeBron has been consistent, and he keeps raising his game with each round. And it's gotten to the point where LeBron don't care what you think about him. If he makes a great play, he's gonna let you know about it. If his team makes a great play, he's gonna let you know about it because you know what? It ain't a damn thing you can do to stop it. And if you don't like it, LeBron is saying, well, do something about it. But most teams, they can't do anything about it. And KD got him once, but LeBron got him back. So he worked everybody, man. Not many players in the league can guard LeBron one-on-one. So yeah, man, that's my 10. That's my 10, man.
Okay. Let's read back a couple of comments, man. Let's see. Let's jump here to the chat room. My man Jay Nags on the chat room. He said number 1, LeBron. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Number 3, CP3. Number 4, Carmelo. Number 5, Blake Griffin. 6, Russell Westbrook. Number 7, Kevin Love. Number 8, Steph Curry. 9, 9 he went Joakim Noah, and number 10, Harden. So it's a pretty good list.
Whoa. How Joakim Noah makes that a good list?
That what? No. He had a good list. It's not for me to debate whether or not he had a good list or not.
And Joakim was second in triple doubles, bro, at center. When has that been done?
You know what? But I think just looking at some of the ones, we all pretty much had the same thing. I think there was a couple of people. Let me see. I just saw one on Twitter where somebody that we had left off. My man Friendly Fire 41 on Twitter. He had Wade in his top 10. He had Durant, LeBron, Westbrook, Howard. He had Howard in the top. Damn, he had Howard at 4. Chris Paul, Kevin Love.
Throw his list out. Throw that shit out here.
Wade, Harden, and Melo. I've talked about it before. Melo seems to be of mine. My man Tyler, my man Trizzle, excuse me, not Trizzle. Trizzle, the creator on Twitter, he had Kyrie Irving. Nobody else had Kyrie on their list.
I did, but I had to take him off.
He hasn't had a good year. Like, great player. I think that in talent alone, he's top 5, top 10. But you like we're talking about this year, 2013-14. And Kyrie didn't have the type of year that he should have, because the type of year he needed to have was to propel the Cavs to the playoffs, even if it was at the AC. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kyrie is that much of a transcendent talent.
And he had a shot.
Get them.
He had a shot at it, too.
Yeah, he did. And that's the reason why, I had to put Kevin Love at number 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kyrie is this year I would have to say top 15, top 20. Yeah, I put it to you like this. Damian Lillard is higher on the list than Kyrie Irving this year.
That's why I left them off.
And you know what we're going to have to do, too, and I was thinking about it as Kim was giving his. I think definitely as we go into, obviously, the season's going to end here pretty soon. Going into next season, we'll do like a preseason, and then we'll do a mid, kind of like how you guys do for the reviews, like a mid-year reevaluation, maybe at the All-Star break or at the mid-year point, and then at the end of the season as well. Because as you can see, that some of these people are going to change. Read back a couple of my man. Shout out my man Mo. Mo has LeBron. He has Carmelo at. I don't think anybody has Carmelo that high. And Mo's my man, 30 grand. But Mo, come on, man. Come on, son.
But you know what? I wouldn't put him at 2, but in all honesty,
I had him at 4, FIFO. So I mean,
I feel you, and you could definitely justify that. And here's the thing, I could almost justify Carmelo at 2, because just looking at my top 10 list, I think mentality-wise, Russell Westbrook is probably the only other guy that probably played harder every possession than Carmelo Anthony this year. Because I'm not a big Knicks fan. I'm a Carmelo fan, and I watched some of the Knicks games this year, and I could tell you this. Every single game that I watched, and I watched close to half of the season of the Knicks, he didn't take a game off, man. He did not take a game off this year. I think that the way New York started, he took a lot of that onus on himself, and he was like, yo, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to ball every game. I'm going to give it all my all because we got to make these playoffs. And you saw that night in, night out. So that's the only reason why I could make a case for him at number 2. But, because they didn't make the playoffs, I can't put him that high, personally.
And just to jump in real quick, whereas, I definitely like Kevin Durant based on this year. Melo had a great year, too. They just didn't make the playoffs. But Melo, to me, if they made the playoffs, would have been an extremely dangerous – the Knicks, if they made the playoffs, would have been an extremely dangerous team because of Melo, because Melo is just that good. I can see an argument made for Melo at number 2. I can see that.
And you know what, Ken? When you were describing Melo, you were saying, he's a guy that doesn't necessarily make his teammates better. But in all fairness to Carmelo this year, there were a lot of times that he did trust his teammates and they let him down. Primarily in the two games that come off the top of my head was the one at Milwaukee and then the one at Houston. Late game situations, especially the one at Houston, jumps out because basically I think they had the ball with 30-some seconds left. Shot clock was running down. They took a shot. Tyson Chandler tapped it back, and it had another possession. The game was tied. They could have had the last shot of the game. Tyson tapped it out. J.R. Smith takes a shot. And it's just like, what? Houston gets the ball. They foul them the next possession, and they win the game off of free throws.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And similar, that happened in Milwaukee as well. So I understand Carmelo's not the type of guy that automatically increases the productivity of his teammates. But at the end of the day, that's not every superstar's job to do.
Right.
Carmelo's job is to put the ball in the bucket. You need to go give me a point guard to get everybody else involved. Because when you get the rock to me, if it's not in rotation where I know if I make this extra pass, he's going to have a wide open shot, when they come to me, I'm putting it in the hole. And that's what you pay him for. So, that whole he doesn't make teammates better, I think that's a slightly overrated thing against Carmelo.
Okay. Phone number to call in, area code 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. You are locked in live to Dead End Sports. I'm your host, 12 Kyle, joined by my boys. From Dead End Hip Hop, FIFO, B, and Ken. Pass the word, man. We have a good time around here. Tell a friend that the boys are back on the air again. We do this each and every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 p.m. A couple of ways you can participate in tonight's discussion. Hit us up on the phone lines, 646-478-0356. You can hit us up on Twitter at Dead End Sports. You can also hit us up on Facebook as well. If you have an Android or iPhone, you can always check us out on Stitcher as well. Just go to the Stitcher application and download the application as well. Let's jump to the phone lines. We got a call. He's been waiting for a minute. Let's not keep him holding too much longer. Jump to 804. My man Q. Q, what's going on, man?
What up, Q?
You awake, man? Oh, okay. And the Spurs, not to cut you off, Q, but the Spurs are getting blowed out. So
yeah, 78.
We're gonna have 2 series, man. Honestly, no, because the injury that he suffered, I think he can bounce back from it. But I think the Kobe that we saw, 2-3 years ago, I don't think we're going to see that Kobe again. Now, do I think Kobe can go out and get you 25 a night? Yeah, he probably. I think I wouldn't doubt that he could get those points. But as far as being able to carry that team, Kobe really wasn't doing that much when he was healthy. Before he got injured. So, and it just, like you said, Q, I guess it's really going to depend on the pieces that they surround him with. There's a lot of uncertainty. Hell, they don't even have a coach, if I'm not mistaken. And you still don't know, what they're going to do with Gasol. And I think at this point, him averaging 25 and get in the Western Conference. Now, if he was in the East, hell, he could at least get him to the second round. But all things considered, just to answer your question, I don't think that's realistic. But here again, I would not want to doubt Kobe Bryant. I'm not going to doubt Kobe Bryant, but I think he'll probably come back and average anywhere between 21, 24 points a game. But as far as that team, how far he can carry that team, I don't think it's going to be that far because he really didn't have a lot to work with, unless they, make a move and get a superstar or something like that to play alongside him.
See, you know what I think the problem is? I don't think the problem is getting another guy. I think the problem is getting the right guy because, Byron Scott said it. He said, hey, Kobe wants to move forward. He's going to have to change his game, especially if he's the coach. And I think that it's not about just getting another quality player. It's about getting the quality player first and foremost that can play with Kobe and be a number one guy because I don't think Kobe in an 82-game season can be the number one guy 82 games. He just can't do that. I think Kobe's a number one guy for 30 to 40-some games in a season. So you need another guy that doesn't mind being the guy, for most of the nights. The other thing, too, is a guy that is old enough that he doesn't make rookie mistakes and young enough to be the future of the franchise, i.e. Kevin Love. But at the end of the day, what else if you get one other guy via trade or whatever? That's not that in the West. That's not enough because let's be honest. Let's look at all of the Western Conference teams. They all have a perimeter guy. Every single one of them have a perimeter player that will shit all over Kobe today. Kobe can't guard James Harden the same way anymore. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that Kobe is like, oh, he's a bum now. Hell no, he's Kobe Bryant. But James Harden will drop 30 on Kobe today. You know what I'm saying? So, it's interesting, man. I don't think the Lakers are making the playoffs for 5 years.
You know what? To add on to what FIFO is saying, when I look at the situation that Kobe Bryant is in, I agree with Colin FIFO mainly because that organization is in shambles. That they put together some hodgepodge team this year. They don't have a coach. There's some sort of leadership issues going on between Jenny and her brother, who's running the team, and they don't even want to have Kobe as part of the coaching selection process. So I don't think that. Look, while I love and respect and admire Kobe for all he's done and all he's accomplished, by the way, I despise you Kobe fans. Y'all get on my damn nerves. But I love Kobe Bryant, the player. You fans y'all just irritate the shit out of me. Kobe can do no wrong. But anyway, I think that puts a lot of pressure on Kobe Bryant, and I think Kobe Bryant deserves more than having to go out and carry an organization by himself. Like that.
But you know what though, Ken? But that's what that $48 million for 2 years mean.
I think that was I just wanted him to retire a Laker.
But here's the thing: you pay a guy $24 million a year. You paying him to be the number one guy in your squad,
and you paid him $24 million to sit out the rest of this year too.
I feel you.
Injuries, of course, but But no, I think just as an organization, there are way too many issues going on for Kobe's $24 million salary to overcome.
That's a very good point, man. Very good point. I don't know. What's your take on it? To Q's question.
Yeah, I think we had mentioned, we talked about it before. I think with the players that Lakers have, I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe averaged 28 a game because hell, he don't got nobody else. It ain't like people said, there's nobody else to kind of take that load. So, I don't know how serious his injury is going to be when he come back. Can he play a whole 82 games and still average, 27, 28 a game? Because let's not forget, before he got injured that same season, Kobe was averaging like about 26, 27 a game, so he was still playing at a high level until he injured his Achilles. So, I think if knowing Kobe is as competitive as he is, I know he's training his ass off and working his ass off to get back to the 100% Kobe that we're used to seeing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's like top 4, top 5 in scoring, average points per game in this upcoming season. They don't have nobody. It's not like he got some help.
What's Kobe's age?
What's his age? Like 30, 35.
And do you know that Kobe has played the most combined regular season and playoff minutes in NBA history, man. He's
I know.
older than 35 as an NBA player, man. He's not. Look,
He's
I
not
honestly,
body wise.
yes,
I
I
won't
don't.
be. But who they got? Who else do Lakers have?
But B, look, Kobe is a career mid 40% field goal shooter. Career, bruh. His best year, he didn't even come close 50%. So to me, you couple that with the Achilles injuries. Do you know how many players, older players, that has been kind of like that's the end of the road for you? And again, because he's Kobe, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I don't see him scoring. I don't see him being no top 5 scorer in the NBA. Come on, man. We talking Kevin
Hey,
Love. We
he
come on,
might.
come on,
I
B,
wouldn't be
come on,
surprised, man.
B.
It'd be different. You're right. It's Kobe, man. I wouldn't be surprised because people, FIFO, the
You
year
sound
that
like modest
the
media.
year, no, the year, no, I'm serious though. The year, no, listen though, the year he got hurt, he was like top 4 in scoring, and people
I
didn't think he was
give
gonna
you
be top
that.
4.
But
See,
B, I
that's
give
what I'm
you no, no,
saying.
no, no. B. Look, listen. If Kobe would have never got hurt, and we were talking about him signing this $48 million deal going into next year, I'd be like, yes, he's going to be a top 5, top
Yeah.
7 scorer in the NBA. But because of the injuries, because of the mileage, because of the Achilles, the knee, come on, I don't
But
see
yeah,
it. I don't
but I
see
mean,
it.
mentality though, mentally, man, Kobe, I
That's
can
cool.
competitiveness, man. He gon'
He's
he gonna clock in because he gonna have something to prove. I mean, just that's and this is
come on.
coming from a non-Kobe fan. You know I'm not a Kobe fan, but I still respect this game. But
But
yeah,
B, at the end of the day, when your body, your mind can be as sharp as hell because your mind, as you get older, gets better because that's what experience is. But his body is starting to break down, and we're seeing that. I don't think that he's
yeah.
going to be able to overcome the physical aspect of the game anymore. Mentally, I'm not questioning Kobe at all. And the only reason why I'm giving him benefit of the doubt is because he's Kobe. But physically, he can't beat Father Time. Father Time is undefeated, bro.
All right.
Feed it.
We'll see. All right, we'll see. We'll see. We got 4 minutes, so I'm my bad.
Yeah, we only got 4 minutes. You got anything else for us, Q?
My man.
Hey man, we definitely appreciate it. Peace.
Peace,
On
Q.
them.
Yeah, it went by fast. It did. It went by fast. We sure didn't. Yeah.
Hey, hey, look, it's the power of the PUSSY. that's that's all it's about.
Man, what I keep telling y'all, the box can take down nations. Y'all not listening to me.
Yeah,
The
man.
box will destroy nations. No.
Nah,
I don't think it
nah.
is. No, Floyd made a long statement saying, dude, no, Floyd made a long statement saying, man, I've been cool with Tiny before her and Ti even got jumped off. So he was like, me and Tiny, we cool as hell. He was like, I've never had sex with her. My intentions is not even to have sex with her. She a cool chick, and I believe that. I think Tiny is just a cool hood chick. I really do. So I believe Floyd Mayweather's statement, him saying that, like about the whole situation. He was like, look. Tiny's a cool chick. I mean, she's been supportive of the Floyd Mayweather team since before her and Ti was kicking it. So I think Ti was just tripping, man. He seemed like he controlling his hell. So mm.
Thunder and 6. It's not fair, man. You know what? I didn't know Ibaka was coming back, man.
Yeah, like if Ibaka was healthy going into the series, I would have gave it to OKC because OKC has beaten Spurs 10 out of the last 12 games. So yeah, I would have gave it to OKC, but
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked the
yeah,
Spurs.
I wouldn't have picked the Spurs either. But goddamn, I mean, we looking at 2012 all over again.
All over again. Yep.
I mean, if you know OKC like they're gonna win this game, now their confidence level is about to be high. They're gonna go to Spurs like, yo, let's beat these niggas. Go up 3-1, 3-2, coming back to OKC. Man, that crowd gonna go nuts, and they'll take it in 6, and they're gonna win 4 straight, and then Miami gonna be 3-peat because if OKC go to the finals, Miami is winning. I actually think Spurs has a better shot beating Miami than OKC does for some reason.
I do too, just because they're motivated. They'll be a little bit.
Yeah.
But look,
I think matchup. I mean, it favors Miami if they play OKC to me. So I mean, I think Miami would be straight if they play against OKC. Kevin Durant will be crying
tomorrow.
Yeah, Kevin Durant will be crying again after the finals.
Allen out for tomorrow?
They're saying he may not. Ray Allen and Chris Anderson may not play tomorrow.
Okay.
I think they're gonna rest him. I think they're not gonna play.
How disrespectful is that?
After playing him?
You do like, yeah, we don't need him, you know, and they really don't.
They don't.
Because James Jones can come out and do
do
shoot
Ray
the threes.
Allen. Yep, shoot the threes from the corner.
Yeah, and Rashard Lewis has already done his job, so they only need to really technically replace Ray Allen. And wow, yeah, damn. So anyway, and they found Paul George as.
Yep.
Hey, they should have fined him an extra $60 for that Lamont Sanford shirt he had on.
Isn't that the same shirt he wore the other day? Because he had that same ass chain on.
Man, when I saw him, I had to look up like where he's from. I didn't know where he's from because like he doesn't have an accent or anything like that. I was like, damn, this dude look country as hell.
Where was he from?
I think he's from like Vegas, or he's either from Vegas or L.A., somewhere out west.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but this looks scary.
Yeah,
I mean, I think San Antonio will be okay when they go back home, but they're really getting rocked.
We'll see, man. They are. I mean, yeah, this is crazy. They looking suspect right now. It's amazing how 2 games can turn a series around. Because going into game 3, we was like, man, Spurs look possessed. Spurs look this. Spurs look that. And we was probably saying the same thing back in 2012. Oh man, Spurs, they just killing. They showing they veteran. And, OKC's young. And then you look up, OKC won 4 straight after being down 0-2.
But real talk, in that first game, they just had a bad game too. And that's what blowouts do for you. But if you look at game 1, they did usher a comeback. They just couldn't sustain it. And they took some bad shots after they got the lead. But they were kind of in game 1. They just had a bad game 2. So who knows, man? B, I didn't see this until you said something on the show.
What?
About what Vogel said about the Pacers.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That says Pacers confidence shaken by the Heat.
Why would you say that? That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you say that?
Oh,
yeah, that's the same thing I saw. I saw that like earlier today. It was like I was still at work when I read that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm saving this for the show tonight. And then so when Kyle swung it to me, I'm like, yeah, you idiot, you don't say that.
So yeah, just like you said, now you just put you put the whole Pacers team
on blast. Like, I mean, like I said, if you're gonna say that at a dinner table or something like that. Don't say it for the media and the whole world to read it and see it. Oh God.
And now all of a
When
sudden,
I saw that, I was just like, I did this is exactly what I did at work. I was like, you idiot.
and now if you on that team, you like the coach don't believe in us.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what you think that's gonna send shockwaves to your team? Like, man, you
I
think
don't
Chuck
want to play for a motherfucker that called
right?
me out like
You think Chuck Daly said to his Pistons squad, y'all can't beat Boston. Y'all just not ready. Y'all not made. You think he said that to them? Hell no, he didn't. Even if he probably was at home and was like, we can't fucking beat this big three. Even back in 85 or 86, he was saying that, but he didn't say it to the fucking team, and he didn't say it to the media.
damn.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was silly. But
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
all right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch the rest of this game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and say see what's happening on it.
All right,
John.
all right, fellas.
All right, then.
All right.
Holla.